Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have got a versus, so we're putting Bilt Hamber Touchless against Infinity Wax Powerfoam Snowfoam. So I managed to get a cracking deal on Touchless for about £5.50 for a litre from TikTok. We'll talk a bit more about that later on, but now we're just going to dilute it out and we'll get outside quickly and then we'll come inside and have a good chat about these two. So I've used Infinity Wax before. I've used Touchless once. This is the new, the revised version, which was more dilutable. It had a more higher concentration. So we're going to go ahead do that. We're going to use the same foam can. I've got two different bottles there for them. Let's dilute it up. Let's get it mixed and let's get going. So I'm going to use the same foam cannon for both of them. Just got two different bottles. For Bilt Hamber, I'm going to use, for both of them, I'm going to use a combined 250 milliliters of combined solution with water and products. So for a 2% PIR for my foam cannon for 250 ml is 65 milliliters of product. This is diluted at 1 to 10, so I'm going to just put 25 milliliter product and the remainder water. So let's get that going now. As ever, give both of them a good shake. So let's mix out 65 ml, which is there. Get down a bit. 6 to 65. Right, pop that down. We'll wait for that to change. Yeah, it's purple, which memory serves me right, is alkaline. I'll put that to a side, put the cap back on there, pour that into this. Oops. It is quite thick and syrupy. I don't like that. It's not just this, it's all of them. You always get a little bit left over in the bottom. Right, let me go rinse this out. Back in a second. Now for Powerfoam, 25 ml. Give it a good shake. Let's pour that in. Again, this is quite syrupy as well, quite thick. There. Do a paper test. Let that change. That's gone again purple, same as you done. That'll be pH 12 on the 12. Right, pour that in. Let's get that covered over before I knock it over. Nearly went then. So syrupy, this one. I'll have to swish out a bit of water in it. Where's the marker? 250 is just there, so I'll pour some water into this. This is extra thick, this is. That 250, I'll fill it with 250. It's nearly there actually. Right, let's get it exact as we can, 250. Yeah, that's right. Now, where's the 250 on this? There's that there. Now this is why I didn't like this bottle. Let's pop that on. There's 250 there. That's bubbling up now as well. Should have put the water in first. That is 250, yeah. Right, let's go outside. I'll bring this with water in me so I can rinse it in between as well. Right guys, just normal road film and look at the back bumper. It's kind of equal all over. Now looking back in hindsight, this side does look a bit dirtier than the passenger side. Let me know what you think. Both wheels are dirtier. And let's get onto the other side and see what that side looks like now. Wheel again dirty. I don't know, looking back now, this side doesn't look as dirty as the driver side. So I'll put an I here for Infinity Wax and a B here for Bilt Hamber, and we'll do it on the front again, driver side and passenger side. So I'm just going to put the Snowfoam on one side, get it on the roof, but we're just going to concentrate looking at the back and the passenger side. Front side is not that dirty, so we won't get much comparison there. So just putting a good coverage on both sides, getting the wheels covered. Now just rinsing out in between, so reducing any signs of cross-contamination. Now straight off the bat, this foam looks a bit thicker to me. It looks more richer, shall I say, more thicker consistency. Again, just putting a good coverage on, covering it nice and well. And at this stage, Infinity Wax has had a bit more time to dwell. You can see the dirt being pulled off straight away from both of them, looking at the residue on the floor. Now on this side, you can see it's still clinging on there, but it's still getting to work, and you can see good dirt on the side. Now this is what I like about Bilt Hamber products. Can you see the foam is moving? It's not static like we looked at previously in the Koch video. This is what I was talking about. That kind of seemed like it was just suspended, but this is kind of static. It's fluid. It keeps on moving. So I'm just going ahead, rinsing off, doing this side first with Infinity Wax on, and throughout rinsing, I was just giving it a thorough rinse. This is how I normally do it, and this is how I do it, going over repeatedly, rinsing it off, so it's kind of fair on both sides, because I don't think I'd be able to done it like just doing a couple of sprays, just going in there, rinsing it all off, and we'll come onto the other side and see how that looks now. You can see that back wheel just getting rinsed off nice and easy, the dirt just getting cut through. I was very surprised and impressed as well at how well it did there. Just a point to mention, the wheels came up well, even the rear one kind of came off easier, and the front was nice as well. Right guys, now coming to the passenger side for Bilt Hamber Touchless. Rinsing off nice and good as well, not much, not difficult, both of them similar rinse off. And again over here, now you'll see me spraying this wheel here, it just kind of just melted straight away. A lot similar, I think if I had to guess, it had a slight ease to it compared to the Powerfoam by Infinity Wax, but I think we're just splitting hairs here, but they both did quite well. And now the front door, and then we'll do the front wheel, and let's come in for a close-up. Now the back, I can't see the I and I can't see the B. They both look clean as well as each other. Now we'll come in for a close-up with the wipe test. So we're just wiping here and wiping on the left hand side also, and coming in for a close-up. The right hand side does look a bit dirty, it's more richer. Now my fingerprints were showing there, so I think I kind of put my hand together to come for a flat wipe, and a flat wipe on the other side also, and we'll come in for a close-up. Let me know what you think, which side you think is dirty, but I think it's quite obvious that the Bilt Hamber side, there's less dirt there than the Powerfoam from Infinity Wax. Coming around to the driver's side now, there is a film of dirt. You can see the eye there, what I put on before, clearly visibly there, and there's still some road film and dirt there. We'll do a swipe test, one on the front, clearly dirt there, and then we'll flip that over, and so we get a consistent, you know, look at the front and the back of each side, and some dirt there again. Now we'll move on to the other side, and you can just about make the B there. It's very light, so Bilt Hamber has done quite well. It's a better indication there of what it looks like. So front swipe, rear swipe, and then we'll come in for a close-up of what we think of the two. Again, the Bilt Hamber side does look like there is less dirt, and we'll look at that in more detail and discuss it further inside. Like I did mention, I do think the driver's side was a bit dirtier, but the back lid, boot lid, you could see visibly clearly on the pads which side was dirtier. Right guys, we're back inside, and that was quite interesting, eh? What do you think? Very interesting. Right, before we get into it, let's get some cost per wash out of the way first. Right, so Powerfoam cost £36.99 for 5 litres, £8.99 for a litre. I use 25 millilitres per wash, so at a 1:10 ratio. That gives me for 1 litre 45 pence cost per wash. If you were to buy 5 litre, that more than halves it to 18 pence per wash. Now moving over to Touchless, that cost for 1 litre £9.95, 5 litres £29.95. So for a 2% PIR in this foam cannon, I had to use 65 ml. Now I've got a PIR video that I've done a long time ago. This foam cannon was 13 litres when I did it in the bucket. There's others that did about 11, so it will just slightly. When I worked it out, there's a matter of like pence. I think the maximum would have been about 5 or 3, or between 3 and 5 pence. So calculate that accordingly depending on what pressure washer, foam cannon and your flow rate, etc. is. So but according for mine on this basis, for 5 litres is 65 pence per litre, and for 1 litre is 39 pence. So considerable amount of difference. 39p for 5 litres, 18p. So there's, if you want something really cheap, that one beats it on price purely. Both of them, the residue on the floor was minimal, more or less the same. And looking at the foam density, I think Bilt Hamber seemed to be ever so slightly thicker. I don't know, maybe when I was looking back at it, it just stood out a little bit, but it did look a bit thicker. When it was cleaning on the wheels, it seemed to me when I cleaned that back wheel that was slightly easier, but there's not much in it because the Powerfoam did well on the wheels. Well, that did, the back wheels did it fine, the front wheels did it similar. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. So now looking back at the footage, it does seem to me that the driver's side looked dirtier. Now when I've heard other people mention the driver's side gets dirtier, I've took that with a pinch of salt, but I don't know, do you guys think it looked dirtier? If you do, let me know in the comment section. But even the fact that it was dirtier, it wouldn't explain the back boot lid. When we looked at that, when we looked at the back boot lid, the I and the B, they both more or less disappeared. But when we did the swipe test, it was clearly visibly more dirtier on the Powerfoam side than the Touchless side. I'll give it on the fact that that side might be more dirtier than the passenger side. The passenger side, you could see the beat ever so slightly, but it was more prominent. The eye for Infinity Wax was more prominent on the driver's side. But then if we take that out of the equation and we look at the back boot, they both had more or less disappeared, but on the swipe test you could see clearly that there was more dirt on the Autofoam side, the Powerfoam Infinity Wax side. Ultimately, I think it always comes down to your personal preference. I do like both of these. The amount of difference that is there, I was even surprised how much dirt came on the Bilt Hamber side, but the Powerfoam side, you could see definitely there was visibly more dirt. That's why it's here to clean that, and then we're going for the contact wash with the safe wash. My thoughts, I actually thought Powerfoam would do a little bit better, or be more equal, but I don't think there was much in it. Was dirty. The dirt on the Powerfoam side looked more like a darker color, whereas the Touchless looked more like of a brown color, if I'm having to pick at both of the products. Moving forward, I still will buy Infinity Wax Powerfoam. I do like it. It's cheap. That's what's pushes me to it. Even if they were comparably price wise same, built the Infinity Wax is more readily available than Bilt Hamber, and also it's just so much easier to calculate with the PI. I know for a lot of people that's going to be a sticking point, but they both are very good products. Ultimately, Bilt Hamber Touchless has worked better in this instance, and deserves credit where credit's due. I love Bilt Hamber. They do fantastic products, and they've gone and shown it with this more highly concentrated version compared to the one that they had before. And I think that is it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know if you think that's a fair comparison looking at the driver's side. And like I mentioned, it seems to have negated it looking at the back boot lid, the back area. You know, when you do the swipe test, you could still clearly see there was more dirt on the pads. And as ever, guys, do like the video, do comment, and do subscribe. It really helped me grow as a channel. Like these, I pay for my own products all the time, and by you supporting the channel, making it, you know, get put out there, it just really helped me move forward. And before I finish, I did say I bought this on TikTok for $5.50ish. If you've never used TikTok Shop, go on there. I think it's only for first time users. When you first time make a purchase, you can buy something at half price. So this was, I think, posted, normally it's about £11, but I got it for like $5.50. I thought, you know what, I've got Touchless, but I wanted to do this comparison video so it fit in perfectly for me to get this for $5.50 delivered. And now currently they've got a offer on. I think when you buy somewhere, it's 20% off posted. So I bought a clay towel. I'll be wanting to use that in summer. I think if you keep an eye on, every so often they'll put like a 20% off, and if you spend £20, and that's including postage on, depending which seller it is. So yeah, if you just want to buy a couple of products at a time, give TikTok Shop a look. And most of the detail specific online retailers, I know, what is it now, into detailing are on there. There's quite a few, there's loads of on there. Gold Car Care, a few of them. Go and check them out. Right, thank you very much, guys, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.